Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I want to show you this beautiful 8x8 inch mini album, which I made using the Boho Baby collection by Simple Stories. And I have actually already made an album using this beautiful baby collection before, but this time I used the digital collection of it, which means that all the papers and most of the embellishments and decorative elements are printed. And if you're also interested in using digital collections for your mini albums or scrapbooks, then you can now watch my YouTube series on my channel, which is all about printing, and I will make sure to link it right now in the top corner. In this series, I talk about which printer I use and what papers I recommend, as well as the best printing settings and the software I'm using. Well, it's not really a software, but I actually designed my own digital mini album planner, which you can purchase in my online shop. And this planner is just great for digitally designing your albums, as well as then printing all your papers and embellishments. And this planner can be used in Canva, which is an amazing and free designing software which you can use online. But for more information, you can just watch my information video about the digital mini album planner, which I will also link in the top corner right now, as well as in the information box. And I designed this planner for making interactive mini albums, so if you're new to my channel, let me just quickly explain to you what kind of albums I craft. By interactive mini albums, I mean that I include a lot of different interactive elements, so flaps, pockets or belly bands, and then I also like to include different closure types such as swing closures, magnet closures or Velcro closures. And for making these albums, I actually use a mix and match system, which means that every time I make an album, I'm choosing my interactive page styles from a collection of 50 different interactive pages. And this way I've created so many different albums for any theme or occasion, so you can find a ton of product shares on my YouTube channel. And then you can also find tutorials for all these different interactive page styles, as well as for the basics such as how to make the album cover, the spine and the basic pages. And along with these tutorials, you can also get my cutting guides and templates, which makes it really easy to work with this system and make your own interactive mini albums. But for more information on how exactly the system works and what you would need to make these albums, I will just link my information video in the top right corner right now. And then of course you can also find the link to the video in my information box. With that being said, we can finally have a closer look at this beautiful new album I just created. So let's start with a look at the spine of this album, but as you can see, I left it very simple. I could have definitely added some ephemera pieces on here, but I decided to just go with this very basic plaid pattern paper. And then for the back cover, I also used a strip of the same plaid pattern paper right next to the spine, and then I decorated the rest of the back album cover by using this beautiful rainbow pattern paper. And now that I look at it, I might add a tag pocket on here as well, because that's something I used to always do on the back of my albums. But then sometimes with my albums, I have to say that I always do the album cover at last, because I don't want them to get any glue stains while still working on the inside of the album. And then sometimes I just want my albums to be done with, so that's why I didn't add anything here. But yeah, it's a beautiful album and it definitely deserves a tag pocket on the back cover. Now for the front cover, I used the same plaid pattern paper as a strip, and then I also used this beautiful floral pattern paper. And then I only added a scallop frame using one of my scallop frame die cuts and a journaling card, or actually just a card for the background here, this white card with the little wildflower saying on the bottom. And then for like the centerpiece of this album cover, I had a friend of mine cut me out this name in wooden letters. So her name is Kaya, and I really love that this is included on here. So yeah, as most of the time I didn't get too crazy with decorating my album cover, but I still love how it turned out. And then the last thing I added here is of course my ribbon closure. Now that's what the first two pages look like once you have opened up the album. And if you have watched some of my project shares, then you probably know by now that I really love including my page style #1 on the inside of the front cover. And that's kind of what I did here, but I have to say this is not really my page style #1, so this is not a basic pocket with a flap closure, but instead I made this box pocket. So this is completely made out of chipboard and it's a very sturdy and a very deep box. And that's actually the second time I've made a box like this and changed my page style #1 like this. And that's because, especially with baby's first year albums, I feel like you need a lot of room for photos. So yeah, you can add a lot of photos in this pocket. As you can see here, I also included some add-on styles, but you could also use this box for just including loose photos, or you could also add some other pieces you want to keep, such as the bracelet from the hospital, or maybe some cards you got from friends and family. And then you could also include a USB stick, so that's something I would definitely do for my baby album, so that I include a stick in here that I can also add my photos digitally. So let's have a look at the add-on styles I included. And for those of you who are new to my channel, again, I just want to quickly mention here that I also do have 30 different add-on styles you could include, especially in pockets or belly bands. And add-on styles are basically just smaller interactive elements, and with my add-on styles I focused on having a lot of different closures. So as you can see, the first add-on style I'm about to show you right now has a snap closure. And I actually don't use snap closures a lot in my albums, but with this add-on style I feel like it's a perfect closure. I could have of course also used a magnet closure instead, or a Velcro closure. But with the snap closure, this add-on style just reminds me of my first wallet I got when I went to school. And yeah, I just like the look of it. And then inside of this little wallet or pocket, you could just place a lot of loose photos. And then for the second add-on style, I included another pocket, which you could also use for just including some loose photos. But what I did here is I included this tag, or it's actually a journaling card with a pull tab. And you could place a photo on the back side, but then on the front, you could just add all the information for your newborn baby. And then for this third add-on style, I added this gatefold card with a belly band, so you can just slide the belly band to the top, and then you can open it up and include some photos and journaling in here. So I included just 3 of the add-on styles, but you can definitely include some more. So as you can see, it is a very deep box, so especially with loose photos, you can place a lot of them in here. And I really like having those boxes in my album, so I'm probably doing them a lot in the future. And for decorating this pocket or box, I actually just printed out 2 pen and papers, and then as you can see on the bottom here, I added this rainbow strip, and I also backed it onto a scalloped border strip as well. And of course, it would have been easier to just print out the black scallop border along with the rainbow strip directly on my pen and paper here, so just printed it all in one. But even though I have the possibility of printing it all out, I really like to have a mix of my scalloped frames being printed as well as being cut out by using some die cuts or my electric die cutting machine. Now to the right side of this double page, I just added a little strip with a lot of decoration on the right side. And this is just completely designed by using my digital mini album planner and Canva. So I just arranged some of the digital stickers from the collection, and then I also added the text saying 1 month here, and then I added these scallop frames, which I included in my digital mini album planner as well. Now, because I'm gifting this album to a friend, I of course didn't include any photos, but added these photo mats just as placeholders. But as always, they are completely removable, so I use a removable glue here. And these photo mats are also great because, as I said, with this album, I really tried to save up some inks and then also show you some ways of saving inks when making an album using my digital mini album planner. But of course, when you're making an album for yourself and you already have the photos you want to include when planning your album, then you could, of course, just print them along with the decorations. So for showing you what it looks like, I used these Canva library photos and printed them along with the decorations here. So this is definitely the easiest way of including photos along with decorative elements in your albums. And I really like the combination of those printed out photos and decorative elements along with all the interactive elements I still want to include in my albums. And as said in my previous videos, I would only add my interactive elements to the basic pages, and then for the additional page flaps, I would just leave them very simple. So these page flaps now are really great to just print out the photos along with the decorations. So on the left side here, I again just would add some photos and then have another decorative strip on the bottom. And to decorate it, I actually used part of a journaling card, and then I could also customize it a little by adding the name as text in Canva to this journaling card. And then on the right side, there is my interactive page style number 22, which is a beautiful page style with a swing closure or like swing tab closures. And I just decorated it by adding some dotted pattern papers, which I actually created myself using some of my basic pattern papers and then just adjusting the colors. And then I also added this scallop frame, and this one is actually just printed on the same paper, so just on this 6x8 inch paper for the 6x8 inch element. So with this page style, you could actually add 2 large photos in the size 6x8 inches here, but you could of course also add some more photos and just create a grid, just as I did on the left side. Now for the next double page, I decided to include a booklet on the left side. So I always love my page styles with these booklets because you can include a lot of different photos on just one page. And this is actually my page style number 40, and I have made it with a magnet closure. I again could have used a Velcro closure or a snap closure, but I decided to go with a magnet. And then for decorating it, I just arranged some of the floral stickers from the collection. And then to actually have the closure look like a snap closure, I also added this large enamel dot. For the blue background, I again used some of my basic pattern paper templates. So yeah, these templates are just great because you can use them in different albums and you can just match the colors with the colors of the collection. And then on the right side, which is again the more basic page, I just added the text saying 3 months on the bottom corner. And then I basically cut this page in half diagonal so that I could add 2 different pattern papers. One is just this solid blue colored pattern paper matching the blue on the left side, and then this beautiful floral pattern. And I feel like with this arrangement of pattern papers, it is always nice to have a square format photo in the middle. On the next double page, we have the simple page on the left side, and here I just printed out this wider strip with pattern papers and those 2 corner scallop frames, which I also added my 4 months text to. And then for the photos, I decided to do an arrangement of 3 different photos, but this is something, of course, you could change up, and also my friend can change it if she wants to. But using those grids in my digital mini album planner is just so handy, and it leaves you with very random photo formats, but it doesn't matter at all because you're printing them out. And even if you're printing them out separately with a digital mini album planner, it is always easy to print them out in the correct size. To the right page here, I added my interactive page style number 41, which is a beautiful page style with, again, a swing closure. And this time for the swing closure, I actually used a die cut in my stash and cut out this beautiful heart-shaped die cut piece. And I can just swing it to the bottom, and then I'm able to open up those 2 flaps. And here again, you would have like the space for one larger photo in the size 6 by 8 inches in the middle, and then you can add 2 square format photos in the size 6 by 6 inches. And to decorate this page, I used different pattern papers from the collection, and actually the pattern paper in the background of the journaling card, so this peach colored pattern paper, is also from the collection, but it was in a different color. So what I did is, so it was actually like more of a dark orange red tone. So what I did is I just changed the transparency, and that gave it this beautiful light peach color. And then for decorating this journaling card, I just added one of my scallop frames from my digital mini album planner, and then I also used 2 different stickers from the collection. Now the next double page definitely took me a little longer to decorate, but it was so much fun to actually design this double page. So for the interactive page style, I chose my interactive page style number 31. Which is like a pocket with 4 flaps which you can open to the sides, and then it closes with an envelope style closure. And to decorate this pocket, I actually arranged a lot of different floral stickers from the collection. And as you can see, I have them being continued on the next flap. So this again is something you can't do with a physical collection, but it works perfectly fine using a digital collection. And then once you have opened all the flaps to the side, you can actually place some add-on styles or just loose photos or other things you want to keep in here. And with this page style, I also really like to add something to the inside of the flaps of the pocket. So as you can see, I added 2 icon stickers here, and then also some text stickers as well. And then for the add-on styles, I just chose 2 very basic ones. So I have a tag for photos in the size 4 by 6 inches, and then I also have a simple 4 by 6 inch photo booklet. For the second page here, I designed another one of those border strips using some stickers and my circle template. And I just included the 5 months text here, and then, as I said, some stickers and embellishments. On the next page, I actually included this beautiful star and moon pattern paper, and for some reason I didn't already plan the photo spots here, which I did in the rest of the album, and which is also a part of how to save ink. So I could have totally do that, because then I would have just left these spots out for printing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I didn't do that here. And then on the right page, I included my interactive page style number 10, which is a great page style with, again, 4 flaps, which you can just flip to the sides, and then you have photo spots. So you could include 4 by 6 inch photos, or again, you could use some grids for smaller photos. And here you can perfectly see what I mean by saving some inks with this album, because what I did here is I actually printed the white photo mat directly onto the paper instead of printing the whole blue pattern paper with the stars. For the next double page, I chose my interactive page style number 9, which is a beautiful accordion style booklet with a ribbon closure. And to decorate this booklet, I just added this bunny and flower sticker, as well as a love you sticker on the bottom. And what I also like about this page is that the scallop frame is actually printed onto the background pattern paper, so behind the booklet. And then I also added these scalloped corner frames, which I included in my mini album planner as well. And I really like these decorative elements and frames, which I can just change the colors of and then use them on different pages in my albums. The right page here I kept very simple by only adding 2 photo spots and a strip of pattern paper. The next double page definitely includes one of my favorite page styles, which is my favorite page style number 15. And this one is actually a page style with a magnet closure in the middle of the page, and then 4 little photo spots, or actually you could add 8 photos here. And I always love decorating this page style, so I would always look for stickers which are very similar so that I have 4 different elements to decorate this page style with. And for this one, I chose these floral stickers. And I added those stickers to a cream background, and then I also backed those cards I made onto scallop frames as well. And then for the magnet closure piece in the middle, I also used a scallop frame die cut, and this time I used a circle scallop frame and also part of a journaling card. For the left page, I decided to include a large photo spot for a 6x8-inch photo, and then I also added a sticker on the bottom here which says 8 months. For the next double page, I used a lot of stickers and arrangements of those stickers. And then I also included another booklet, which is again an accordion style booklet, but this time with an elastic closure. And I actually didn't place this booklet in the middle of the page, but instead slightly to the right side so that I could still add this decorative strip on the left side. And then, as said, I added a lot of those nursery themed stickers, and I have to say I really like how this page turned out. It's a little different to what I'm usually doing, but yeah, this is just a great way of including a lot of stickers, especially if they fall into the same theme. And what I also did differently here is I actually changed the color of the scalloped frame, which I printed onto the pattern paper on the right page here. So yeah, I printed it out in blue, and I really like how it turned out. To the next page, I added this tuck spot on the left side, and this is actually half of a large circle scallop frame, which I cut out using my die cutting machine. And then behind this tuck spot, I just placed a simple photo mat and decorated it with some stickers and the months here as well. And this card is actually printed all in one, so I didn't cut out the scallop frame on this card, but instead I also have the stickers still look like stickers by adding a border to them, which is also something you can easily do in Canva. So as you can see here, we have the stickers with the white border, which is also great when you want to cut them out using your die cutting machine. But then on the half scallop frame, I actually placed the bunny sticker without this border, and I also added a "So Sweet" text. The interactive page style I chose here is also one of my favorite page styles. So you have 2 tag pockets with tags inside, and I also love decorating those. So what I did is I used 2 journaling cards. I actually think I made one myself, and the other one was included as a journaling card already. And then for the paper matting on those tag pockets, I actually designed this dotted paper. So again, these are templates from my mini album planner, and I just changed the colors to match the left side as well. And then for the pattern paper behind those pockets, I actually choose one which I've already used in this album, but it looks totally different to me because what you can do when digitally designing your album is you can actually change the scaling of all those pattern papers. So I could have also used the rainbows on the pattern paper on the left side in much smaller as well as much larger. Now let's have a look at the last 2 pages, so actually the last page and then the inside of the back cover. And because this is the backside of a basic page, I actually have 2 interactive elements on this double page. So I have my interactive element or page style number 4 on the left side, and then my interactive page style number 25 on the right side. The page style on the left is a gatefold page with a magnet closure, and for the magnet closure I again chose a circle scallop frame, and I added these flowers to the frame as well as the 11 months text. And for the gatefold flaps, I just chose this beautiful daisy pattern paper and also added some decorations to the corners. And when using gatefold pages, I usually like the insides of the flaps for journaling, and then in the middle of the page, or actually on the basic page, I would add some photos, or in this case I decided to go with just one large square photo. And to highlight this photo, I also added a large or like wider border to it, just a simple square border in this like reddish brown color. And I also added 2 of those flower stickers from the collection to the corner of this border as well. And then of course I had to finish this album using a waterfall page style, which is, as I said, my page style number 25. And for decorating it, I just used some basic patterns with some dots and then basic patterns without anything to them in this light pink color. And then I simply designed the journaling card by arranging some of those stickers from the collection and also adding a scallop border again. Now that's it for today's video, and as always, I of course hope that you enjoyed watching this project share, and if you did, I would love to get your feedback in the comments down below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss my future videos. And then I hope that you're having a great day, and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!